In Midlothian ISD, we inspire excellence today so our students can change the world tomorrow. To achieve this vision, what will our children's future look like? As educators and parents, we wish we could answer this question. In this 5-part video series, we will share how MISD is preparing students for their future and what led to launch Empowered. Showcase the MISD learner experience with the balance of hands-on learning and technology, specifics on internet safety and enrollment details, and lastly, an opportunity for you to hear from teachers about Empowered. As we prepare our students for their future, we see the landscape of public schools shifting to engage and enrich the learner experience. We honor our MISD legacy of excellence by taking the best of what we offer to students and moving forward with achieving our vision. This effort allows our children to have the knowledge and skills to be happy and productive citizens. As public schools make this shift, we can't do it alone. We ask that you watch this brief video.
Since the dawn of its existence, the purpose of public education has been fairly simple and straightforward. We want our kids to grow up to be happy, healthy, productive members of society. Even though our purpose in education has remained steadfast for over 150 years, a lot of things have changed. Remember the pioneer days? Well, probably not, but it looked something like this. During this time, people mostly lived in small rural communities and predominantly worked on family-owned and operated farms. So how did we educate and prepare children to function successfully in this environment? Well, unless you were rich enough to afford a private tutor, your children were educated in one of these, a one-room schoolhouse. Think about how well this matched the context of the day. School schedules matched the agrarian calendar, and students were educated in small, multi-age, cooperative learning groups. As students mastered the basics, they became apprentices, learning trades, crafts, the family business. We call this Education 1.0. Education imitated the lifestyle and work environment that people were engaged in at the time. But come the turn of the 20th century, society changed with the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. In a very short amount of time, the living and work environment of our society quickly changed. People began to flock to major urban epicenters where jobs and commerce were widely available. New inventions and modes of transportation meant the rapid expansion of our economy. No longer were people working in fields and family trades, but instead in manufacturing plants and assembly lines. So what did we do to prepare young people to meet the needs of the day? We created an industrial model of schooling. Education 2.0. If most people worked in this environment, then it made sense that we teach them in this one. In order for students to be successful in the industrial age, they needed to learn how to master repetitive tasks and how to do solitary work in a group setting. They needed to learn how to work in allotted segments of time and how to follow instructions from a manager who valued the quantity of work produced. It was an efficient model that perfectly met the needs of society. Everyone was expected to learn in the same place, at the same time, at the same rate, and in the same way. Today we find ourselves in a time very different than the days of the Industrial Revolution. The context of society, and in turn education, has rapidly changed. Most of us don't work in factories or on assembly lines, and yet our classrooms still look like this. Things are changing, and changing fast. Technology is advancing so fast that in just a few short years from now, we'll probably be laughing about how archaic smartphones were, the same way that we laugh about 8-track players and VCRs. There is little about our world that resembles the world of Education 2.0, and as great as technological advances are, it may not be enough to put a laptop or tablet in front of every student and continue to teach them as if we were preparing them for an assembly line. After all, a vast majority of employers surveyed identified collaboration, creativity, communication, and critical thinking as very important skills. Unfortunately, only about 1/4 of job seekers were rated as excellent in the skills employers believe are most important. Perhaps it's time we ask ourselves if Education 2.0 still prepares young people to be happy, healthy, productive members of society. The context of our society is rapidly changing, but the purpose of education remains the same as it's always been. Today, our job is to educate young people to be successful in the 21st century, because it may not be too long from now that your morning commute looks more like this. There's a vast world of possibilities for young people today, and if we want them to be equipped with the skills necessary to be successful in Life 3.0, then it's probably time that we start talking about Education 3.0.
This video timelined the history of public education from a 1.0 to a 3.0 experience. When we think of a kindergartner, a 5 or 6-year-old, what will their world look like at age 10, 20, 30, 40, and on up? What about our high school students? Did you know that 2 years ago was the last graduating class born outside the internet being offered to all? Think about our seniors today. How many iterations of an iPhone have they lived through? Technology continues to change the landscape of work, school, and home. Take a moment and think of all the technology available to your children that wasn't available to you. Free online help with Khan Academy or YouTube. Amazon Prime shopping. You never have to leave your house. Netflix has changed the way we watch TV. Binge watch is now a word. As we bridge the MISD legacy to a 3.0 learner experience, our teachers and staff are continuing to make content knowledge a primary focus. But while your children are in our care, we also want to develop and hone a future-ready skill set. These skills are timeless and are known as survival skills. These 10 essential skills are at the heart of what we want our students to know and do by the time they graduate from MISD. As this video comes to a close, we hope you have seen a small glimpse of how MISD continues to be the school district where every child's potential becomes real. For any questions about Empowered, you may visit our MISD website.